Hello and welcome back to Vlogmas Day 4. Today I am recording this a day in advance because the day that you're watching this, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be flying across the country to Utah to go to Dragonsteel. And although I will be doing vlogs of my travel and also my time at Dragonsteel and all the cool things I'm getting to do, I'm just going to need a little bit more time to edit those. I can't have like a one-day turnaround because both the years I've been to Dragonsteel so far with media badges, it is hectic. Like, we have early mornings and we are non-stop go until we get to our hotel like super late at night, and then we crash for just like 6 hours and do it all again. So it doesn't leave time for me to be editing in between. So stay tuned for those vlogs. They're just gonna be a little bit later, but today I'm excited because we need to pick my December TBR. Right now it's December 2nd as I'm recording this, and I have not picked out my TBR yet, and I know I'm a little bit late doing so. So without further ado, let's get into it, and we're starting from scratch. I have no idea what I'm gonna choose. This is gonna give you a little bit of a behind the scenes look at how I make my TBR. So I'm starting from nothing right now. As I said, it is the second day of the month and I have finished one book and I'm almost done another, so those are obviously easy additions. The book that I finished is the first Mistborn book in the first era, and the book that I'm almost finished is this book called The Wasp Trap. The first thing that I do to start building my monthly TBRs is actually look through Libby, because I always have a bunch of books on hold on Libby, and so I look for books that are going to be my turn soon so that I can read those while I have them, because you only get a few weeks to listen to these books. After that, I go through my ARC cart and I look through to find some books that are either coming out this month or next month that I really want to prioritize reading before they come out. You are such a camera thief. You just want to be all the way on camera, huh? You're just the star of the show, buddy. I love you. I did want to add, this is normally my TBR like stack for the month, but this has gotten kind of crazy and I haven't actually gone through this or organized it, and it's just been a catch-all for a bunch of different things lately. But some of these are accurate. These all do not need to be here. Unnatural I was gonna read, but I realized this is the second book, so I'm not gonna add that to the TBR. Spark of the Everflame is my podcast book for January, but I feel like I would rather read that early January. Adrift is my podcast book for February, so way too early. This Woven Kingdom I do need to read this month. That's my podcast book for this month. I don't know why this copy ended up here. We'll add that to the put somewhere else pile. If you're wondering while I'm doing this where Onyx is, he's just looming over my shoulder. He's Mama's little helper, huh, buddy? He's actually my shadow all day long if I'm not sitting on the chair editing. He's either asking me to sit down in the chair, or he's asking me to go play with him, or if I am not doing either of those things, he just like lingers around me, and it's the cutest thing. I love him. He's actually like the definition of Velcro dog. But that's okay, we love you for it, buddy. But anyways, let's go through this next stack. This was a Discord book club pick that I meant to read in November, but I do want to still read that this month. Ooh, I actually just finished this book in November. I'm gonna put this in a separate stack. It's just gonna go there for now. This is gonna be books that I read last month. I did mean to read this book last month, so we'll keep that on the TBR. I finished this in November. I did not read this, but I feel like this is not the right season for this anymore. It's very spooky season coded, or maybe I'll read this in January, but it's not giving December for me. I did finish this book in November. This one, I think I just have my hold for on Libby, so I'm gonna keep that here. I did finish this book in November. Sunrise and the Reaping, I did want to read this year, and obviously December is my last chance to do that, so I think I'll keep this on here, but I definitely want to read this for like a YouTube or TikTok or reading vlog, because I hear this book's devastating and incredible, so I definitely want to do this for a video. The Society of Unknowable Objects, I know I'm gonna add a lot of Brandon Sanderson fantasy to my TBR, so the likelihood of me getting to a non-Sanderson fantasy book that's not one of the ones I already have picked out is not high, so I think I'm gonna remove this to be realistic. Mixed Signals by V.K. Borison. I don't even remember putting this on. Oh, yes, I do. I was going on vacation to Arizona and I thought this would be a fun book to have because of the warm weather, but it didn't happen, so I'm gonna take that off. Hi, bud. Same thing with a couple Christina Lauren's. My favorite Half Night Stand. I would love to read this, but it's just not the right month. I have too much going on, and that feels like a more lighthearted book that I just want to read on like vacation or on a week that I'm not as stressed as I'm going to be this month. Did read this one already in November, so that can go in my November stack. After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid is another book I added for my vacation and didn't get to. With Stars in Her Eyes, I kind of want to keep that on the TBR this month. That sounds so cute. I love that author. A Photo Finish I definitely want to keep by Elsie Silver. I think that's book 2 in that series. I loved book 1. Red Card by Maren Moore. I think I'm going to keep that one on the TBR too. Although I'm kind of getting into dangerous territory where I'm keeping a bunch of romances that aren't Christmas romance, and I know I'm gonna go upstairs and find some Christmassy romance books too, so might need to adjust that later. These two other Taylor Jenkins Reid, again, I think I'm just gonna push that. It's probably gonna be more like a January, February. Same with How to Break My Heart. I do plan to read The Lost Metal this month. I am on to book 3 of my reread of Era 2 of Mistborn. Set Sheltered Lives I'm actually in the middle of on my Kindle, but I haven't had time to read on my Kindle for a hot minute, so I haven't picked this up in a couple of weeks, but I will plan to finish that this month. Told You So by Macy Neely. I started the audiobook of this a few weeks ago and then forgot to keep reading it. I don't know why, so this was the reminder I needed. I will keep listening to that. I was listening to it on a different platform than I normally listen to audiobooks, so that's why it was just like out of sight, out of mind. The Book of Autumn, I'm not feeling December vibes for that, so I'm gonna put that aside. And then Tailored Realities by Brandon Sanderson. I am still so blessed to have this arc in my hands. I'm gonna bring this, I wanna bring this to Dragonsteel to hopefully get signed. I'm gonna set this aside, but this is going on my December TBR. I for sure will read this before the year's up, but I gotta go put this in my packing pile so I don't forget it. Okay, last little section here. We have Wild Reverence. Don't think I'm gonna get to this one. Again, I'm not choosing extra fantasy books that aren't already on my like mental list because there's already gonna be a lot. Ooh, we have the rest of, I don't know if that was book 2. We have the rest of the Gold Rush Ranch series, and I'm honestly thinking this is gonna be a January project. So I think I might remove this one as well and just put the rest of the series into my stack for maybe next month. Taylor Jenkins Reid, gonna put that on my stack as well. I had kind of, I think, taken every book I hadn't read of hers yet for my last month's TBR, thinking I'd have all this time to read on vacation. I always do that. And then I ended up having no time to read on vacation because it was for a destination wedding, and all week long we were doing activities for the wedding and for the couple, things that they had planned and they wanted to do, which was great, so much fun, but I didn't pick up a book at all. And lastly, we have this book of poetry, Things We Never Got to Share, and I do want to read this month, so I'm going to keep that. So right now we have 11 books on the TBR, 12 if we count that Brandon Sanderson, and I didn't get to read like at all in November, and I definitely want to read a lot more this month, so I'm going to try to aim for like a little under 30 books for my TBR this month. I feel like that's probably the realistic range, especially with some of them being fantasy, which are always a little longer. I'm looking to add no more than 20 books to this. Let's go start with some Brandon Sanderson and pull from that shelf. My shadow followed me, don't worry, but we're at my Sanderson shelf. Here's where it gets a little tricky because I would like to read everything on the shelf always, and whenever I go to Dragonsteel, I always have the biggest itch to read a bunch of Sanderson books when I leave. The first one I'm pulling is the first Mistborn book because I actually already finished this. This was the first book I read for the month. You might have seen it in my first Vlogmas video. Okay. He also likes to just sit on my lap sometimes. So there we go. I'm definitely pulling this one, but I also like kind of want to reread the rest of Era 1 of Mistborn, so I'm also going to pull both Hero of Ages, which is the 3rd book, and The Well of Ascension, which is book 2. Now, I have The Lost Metal already over there, but I do think I'll also try to read The Bands of Mourning before I read The Lost Metal. I've already read this one, so this will be a reread. I'm not going to touch the Stormlight Archive as much as I want to, and I do plan to do a read a book in one day impossible edition where I try to read The Way of Kings in one day, which is insane, but I actually think I can make it happen. I truly do, and maybe that's delusional, but I did a day where I read for 24 hours straight and I made that happen, so like I can read that book in 24 hours or less. It's not going to be a normal day of reading, it will be staying up like all night long, but I do want to try that, but the likelihood of that happening in this very busy month of travel and holidays, not likely, so probably revisiting the Stormlight Archive next month in January. Which leaves me a little bit lost for where I want to go for Sanderson. I might just leave it at that for now. That is 5 books. I feel like I have to leave it at that because that's already 5 books of his, which is a lot. There are some other standalones that I haven't read. I haven't read The Sunlit Man yet, his new secret project that came out this year. And I also, this is going to come as a surprise as a Sanderson girly, but I haven't read Elantris. I don't even know where that is on our shelves. Oh, it's up top. But I haven't read Elantris, and I haven't read, what's that book called? It's the little novella, The Emperor's Soul. I haven't read that one either. And the only other Sandersons I haven't read are his young adult and middle grade books, which are his Skyward series, which I'm very excited to read. I just haven't gotten to him yet. And also his like Steelheart series. I'm not sure what that series is called and all, but what are you doing? Why are you hanging your head like that? They're gonna think I mistreat you. Oh, scary. Scary stuff, huh? Alright, we gotta get up. Okay, I'm gonna stick these right here, but then I'm also gonna grab the Lost Metal and put that here as well because They're a family, they gotta stick together. I'm up to 16 books, so I'm gonna be careful not to add too many arcs, especially because arcs I need time to sit down and physically read. I don't get like audio arcs. I wish I was a part of the like audio influencer programs from Atria and from Macmillan and Penguin, but I am unfortunately not a part of any of them. So I don't get audio advanced copies, which means the arcs that I add, I have to be very careful with because they are books I have to sit down and just read physically. I'm gonna spin this around. Hi. We were apart for more than 30 seconds, so he had to check in on me. In this cart right now, I have my November and December arcs, but I also have a big stack of book mail next to me that I know I'm gonna open and find exciting things in that I'm gonna wanna read. So I wanna maybe leave a little space for that. Tomorrow's video, or maybe the next one, is gonna be me opening all that mail. So stay tuned for that. That might influence my TBR a little bit. This is what we're working with for my arcs. I might bring you a little closer. So how I have it right now is November is the first 2 rows and December is just this bottom row. I obviously didn't get to a lot of my November books, although I have read a few of these. And then for December, I actually have a much smaller stack than normal. I think December might be a lighter publishing month just because of Christmas and the holidays. I think I'm gonna add the Emma Effect because I think I have this one as an audio and it comes out actually today as I'm recording this on the 2nd, so I could probably get the audio of this one pretty easily. So I'm gonna add this one to my list. And then I might pause on adding any more arcs and at least first go look up at my like Christmas books because those could do some damage to my TBR. All right, we've made it to the main like library in the house. You might not know this, but where you see me film is actually not our like library. That's just my filming space, and I have one wall of bookshelves, but this room is lined almost to its entirety in bookshelves. I do plan to do a bookshelf tour. Let me know if you want that to be a Vlogmas video. I could just do a video showing you all of my shelves of books and going through my entire collection, which would be really fun. But in this side of the room, it is romance, and so my Christmassy romance books are mainly focused on this shelf. I kind of have a lot to choose from, which is sometimes a problem, but let me grab my other phone. I'm gonna see some of these if I can get some audio copies of, because when I'm traveling and when I'm busy with holiday stuff, I can easily do like an audiobook while wrapping presents, or an audiobook while driving somewhere. A little bit harder to find time to read physical, especially when I'm trying to read some arcs and Brandon Sanderson and such. So let me go grab my other phone. I do want to make a little like Christmas book recommendation video. I might pull like all the Christmas books I've read off of this shelf, but I'm gonna wait because if I don't have time to make that like today, I don't want to just have a big stack of books on my floor when I get home. Okay, so I just looked in the Merriest Misters. I'm 3rd in line for, which I think will move pretty quickly because usually around this time of year people are actually like reading the Christmas books that they borrow. So I'm definitely gonna add this one. This one is a queer romance. I think I've read one other book by this author, the one that he just most recently released. I have the cover in my head, but can't think of the title, but I really liked it, so excited for that. Oh, I'd love to read this Emily Stone one, but I doubt this one will be available. Let me check. I wish I was in the financial position to just like buy audiobooks left and right, but I like never buy audiobooks. I really only use my library, and then Spotify I get my like 15 hours per month, but that's about it. So this one, wow, this has 44 people in line with only 1 copy available. That's not happening. All right, well, maybe next year. So not happening. Holiday by Monica Murphy. I think that's indie, so I doubt it's on these platforms at all. Well, it's in German. Not as helpful for me. No way. It looks like it's in English on Hoopla. This is book 3 in a series, but it's a romance, so I almost guarantee they're all standalones. I don't own the first 2 books, so I'm gonna add this. That's so crazy. Hoopla every once in a while has the most random finds that I'm always so shocked by. All right, the next one we have is Professional Development by Kate Canterbury. That's also indie, so I doubt it. I don't need to add more than like 5 of these probably, but I love around Christmas time to read some holiday romance books, especially on audio. So I'm just gonna check for them. No worries if some of them don't work out. Moving on to the shelf up here. This looks so cute, but it's indie, so I doubt that I can find an audio for it. Ugh, I can't. If it was a different time of year and I wasn't so busy, I would add it anyways because I was a figure skater. That looks like so much fun. I'm gonna check this one next. It's called Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. This one's not indie, so there's a decent chance here. The tricky thing is this is obviously the time of year where everyone wants to be reading these books, and normally I plan ahead a little bit and make sure I'm putting things on hold ahead of time, but it's December and I haven't done this, so that's just on me if I can't find many available. Okay, that one's actually not even on any of these platforms, which is surprising to me. These are double layered, these books on this shelf. So I'm gonna pull these out because a lot of the front layer I've already read. I haven't read this one, so let me look this up. I've never really heard of this book though. I think I got this at like a library book sale. Okay, cool. Well, because this one's lesser known, I actually can borrow this right now from my library. So I'm gonna do that and add this to the list. It says, only the most extraordinary circumstances can reunite the Birch family for the holidays. So this might not be romance, this might be more like a wholesome little family like get together after some time apart. We'll see, I don't know. If you haven't read The Holiday Swap, read this Christmas. It's amazing. This is like Hallmarky but not super cringy, and it's just so much fun. I love this book. This looks adorable. This is my favorite color green ever, so I'm gonna look this one up. I hope it's available. It's not available, but I'm first in line, so I'll definitely be able to read this one. This one says it's the perfect family Christmas with lights, holly, and mistletoe, but she's dreaming of kissing the wrong brother. Scandalous. I always want to read these books by Cody Hall, but this is the third year in a row that I can't get the audio anywhere. And I'm always surprised because these are traditionally published from Sourcebooks Casablanca, and I think they're all connected. I remember I had one of the books like 2 years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna read this. And a bunch of people commented like, no, you can't. That's book 3 or something. So I waited and I got the other books, but I think I can't read them this year. I wish I could. Okay, I'm gonna add this Christmas book. I don't know why this is up here because this is definitely a thriller, not a romance, so I have this in the wrong shelf. But this one is super short. It's only like 4 hours for the audio. I'm 5th in line, so it's possible I won't get this one, but I feel like the line will go pretty quick for this because of how short it is. I'll add it. Maybe I'll have time to read it physically if I don't have time for the audio. It's like super short, so this sounds fun. It says, one dead Santa, a town full of suspects, can you uncover the truth? That sounds like such a fun premise. I love. Ooh, this one's another maybe. It might not come in on time, but I am 18th in line for this one, but there are like 5 copies in use. So this one's possible. This one's called Christmas is All Around, and I love the cover. It's so cute. It's the most annoying time of the year, or is it? Follows like a former child actress who it seems like hates the holidays normally, but this year is gonna be a little different. Okay, so this one is by the same author as the Holiday Swap book that I really liked, so I'm gonna try to get this one on time. It's another one that could go either way. It says True Love wasn't on their holiday wish list. I'm so sold with there being the little dog on here, like how adorable. Okay, I think that's gonna be the end for us. So I'm gonna put the rest of these back up here, but I ended up grabbing like 7 Christmas books, so I'll show you them all together in a minute. There we go. All right, so here is all of them. We have All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox, Christmas is All Around by Martha Waters, The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett, Holiday by Monica Murphy, The Holiday Mix-Up by Jenny Bard, 7 Days of Us by Francesca Hornak, and The Merriest Misters by Timothy Janofsky. I feel like that's a pretty good stack with some range. We have a thriller in there, we have a queer romance, and then a few just contemporary Christmas romance books. So I feel like this is gonna be perfect. So upstairs we also have fantasy, that's not Brandon Sanderson, young adult, and then the rest of my romance. I think that I'm pretty set for romance though. I don't think I've picked anything for my thriller shelf, so that's where we're gonna head next. I almost forgot before we head downstairs again, I need to pick some for my art shelf that aren't coming out in December. So these are January through like April, I think is the farthest out arc I have right now. And this is like the time that I would read a January arc normally. I'm a little bit behind on arc reading just because life has been insane and I have been gone more than I've been home. But I for sure want to read Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden. I love her books and I'm so fortunate and blessed to be arc reading this one. It comes out in the end of January. I've already read Hollow and loved that book. I kind of want to read this Tessa Bailey book. I sometimes get her books on audio because I'm auto-approved on Avon's list, but not all of her books go on NetGalley, but we're gonna chance this one. This one's A Marriage of Convenience, Friends to Lovers, sports romance about a baseball catcher and the burlesque club owner he can't get out of his head. I really want to grab Is This a Cry for Help by Emily Austen, so I think I'm gonna go for it, even though I feel like I'm pulling too much at this point. This one's supposed to be hilarious, heartbreaking. It's about a good marriage, bad mistakes, and the enduring power of your local library. So I for sure want to read this, and I think I just got the audio copy of this one through the Libro FM influencer program. It's the only like audio influencer program I'm a part of, and it's mostly like already published books, but they did have this one as an advanced copy, so I'm definitely gonna grab this. This one says, survive the arena, save my brothers, kill the emperor. 2 vampires stand between me and my mission, one who shattered my heart, one who torments me at court. Let the games begin. This sounds like a blast. All right, I feel like I should stop now. January ends right here. So this, and these are all January. I really want to read, I loved the last book I read by Audrey J. Cole. So I really want to read her new book, The Trip, but I'm just not sure if that's going to happen in time. You know what, let's add it to the list just in case. Why not? Well, the last one I'm gonna add, I'm cutting myself off officially. All right, here's where I start to get into trouble where I'm grabbing too much, but let's go add these to my pile. Onyx is ridiculous. He's just waiting for me on our chair. What are you doing there, buddy? Are you hoping I'll come cuddle? Because I will. You know I will. But I just need a little bit more time first, handsome. I love you. All right, let's see where we're at after I add all of these. I'm gonna start organizing these a little bit by genre, that way I can see what I have right now. Put thriller here, romance up here. Ooh, I fear I grabbed a lot of romance, but let me see. Romance. This is just contemporary fiction, I believe. And I Found You is a thriller. This is getting very mixed reviews on my Discord book club, so kind of nervous about this book, but I love Lisa Jewell, so can she really steer me wrong? To be determined. Let's count these up. We have 1, 2, 28. We're at 28 right now. Huh. I wanted to pick some more thrillers because I usually read a lot more. Oh, I am missing, shoot, I'm missing the book that I'm reading right now. I'm literally like about to be done this book. It's called The Wasp Trap, so let me try to find this. My books are alphabetized, but they're also double layered. Where that gets tricky is they're alphabetized, like starting with A on that corner, going across all the way down the shelves, and then they start back at like M. So I'm looking for last name Edwards, which is gonna be behind the stack of books you see. So I have to try to figure out where E is. I think it's gonna be somewhere in like these 2 rows. All right, that's still at C, so that's D, so getting closer. C, E, okay. I'm looking for, I think, Edwards. Ooh, that was so much easier than I thought it would be. Yay for alphabetizing, because that was not bad. I'm kind of iffy on this book. I have mixed feelings, but I'll talk about that in a different video. All right, we'll add this to the thriller shelf. All right, a little bit packed here, but I think we're at 29 books now, which I think is where I want to land. I'm gonna give a quick run through of them now that we have them all together. First up, we have This Woven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. This one is a young adult fantasy book. It's the first one in the series. I think there's 4 books out now, but there is a 5th book coming. As I said, I'm reading this for my podcast, and I'm really excited because this is the author of Shatter Me, which is a series I absolutely love. I haven't actually finished the Shatter Me series. I have a horrible habit of stopping series that I love like halfway through because I don't want them to be done. So I just like don't read them for like years. That's what I did with the last book of the Mistborn series. And then by the time I'm like actually emotionally ready to finish the series, I have to reread everything anyways because it's not fresh on my mind anymore. So rant aside, this is the first book in the series, and hopefully I'll actually just like read through the series instead of adding it to my list of probably 30 series I'm in the middle of. We Who Will Die is that romantasy book. This one comes out sometime in January, and it is releasing with these gorgeous deluxe like stenciled edges, which I'm excited for. This has a lot of buzz around it already, like a ton, so I'm kind of nervous about it because of that. Sometimes those don't always live up to expectations, but we'll see. Obviously, Sunrise and the Reaping, everyone knows what this book is, but this one I feel so stupid. I thought this was just a Waterstones exclusive, so I ordered this from the UK. It just released like a month ago, and I was so excited to have this on my shelf until I walked into Barnes & Noble last week and they had the same book sitting on their shelf. So it's not an exclusive to the UK. I just bought it there just to pay double, because why not? But the more you know, oh well. Next up is called A Catalog for the End of Humanity by Timothy Hickson. You might know him as Hello Future Me here on YouTube. He is huge here. He has like over 1 million subscribers, and I'm lucky enough to be his friend. We met through Dragonsteel. We were on the book club for You, Me, and the Nightmare Painter together, and we also saw him and his wife in Chicago last month, which was really fun too. So this is his short story collection that I hope to read this month. I hear they're amazing, and I haven't read short stories in a while, so I'm excited for this. For nonfiction and contemporary fiction, we have a book of poetry called Things We Never Got to Share. This is book 3 in a trilogy of poetry. They all have different like kind of categories they're compartmentalized into. This one's poems of pain, passion, and peace. This is an indie published poetry collection, and I loved the first 2 books so far, so I have high expectations. This Is a Cry for Help is the new Emily Austen novel. She is a huge New York Times bestselling author. I've only read one of her books so far, and it was a 5-star read, so I'm very excited for this. We talked about this one upstairs, but 7 Days of Us I didn't know anything about. I thought it was romance, but it is not. It's about this family reuniting over the holidays. This one is Macy Neely's memoir. It's called Told You So. She is one of the girls from the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives show on Hulu, which I have an unhealthy obsession with. The reunion is coming, I think, like in 2 days, and we're gonna be away for it, so we're gonna watch that when we get home from our trip. But I've read just a couple of the chapters so far, and I'm enjoying it so far. She definitely has a very heartbreaking story, so I'm excited to hear more about it. For fantasy, I'm not even gonna pull these off the shelf because we talked about them already, but it's just the first trilogy in the Mistborn series, and I've already read book 1, and then it's also book 3 and 4 in Era 2, which are Bands of Mourning and The Lost Metal. I'm loving revisiting the Mistborn series, so I'm super excited to tear through the rest of these. If I were attending Dragonsteel just as like a normal attendee and not a media badge, I could probably read through the rest of these like during my trip and during off time, but I already know I'm gonna be like running like a chicken with my head cut off, getting content and editing things, and who knows, it's always a surprise. I always think I'm gonna have time on my hands, and then I end up doing crazy things that are very time consuming. Last year I ended up doing some content creation for Brandon Sanderson, which was not planned at all. I was just like the only person who was media in a room where he needed somebody to record some things, so I did that, and then that got me the opportunity to go to like a private signing with him and make like my own content creation video, which I did this trend, which I'll include a little clip of.
I hope she plays hard to go.
This is Dragonsteel Nexus.
Zeth, son Bolano, truthless of Shinovar, wore white on the day he was to kill a king.
Which was so much fun and probably my favorite video I've made like ever. And then for romance, we've already talked about all of the Christmas ones. The Emma Effect is a hockey romance. I read one other hockey romance by Leah Riley and it was really fun. This one's supposed to be Jane Austen meets Ellie Hazelwood, which has me intrigued. It's a steamy friends to lovers STEM rom-com. Fun. Red Card is a rugby romance. This one I have had in my TBR for a few months and I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm excited to read this. This I think is my first book I've ever read by Maren Moore, which will be fun. With Stars in Her Eyes by Andy Burke is an author I love, and this one is a like bookstore themed romance. One or both of the girlies are like bookstore employees, so I'm excited for that. I love books about books. And then we already yapped about the Tessa Bailey book. So I think that about covers it. That was fun. I've never made a video like building my TBR, so let me know if you want to see these videos in the future when it's not for Vlogmas. Normally I just sit down and like talk about the books I've picked, but it was kind of fun to like yap about figuring out what books I want to read. I don't know, I know I'm just talking to a screen, but it actually was way more fun than it normally is to pick out a TBR. So if you guys like this video, let me know because I'd love to keep making these. But stay tuned for tomorrow's Vlogmas. I think I'm gonna have 2 or 3 more videos that are pre-recorded to give myself some time to like content create at Dragonsteel and then have the best versions of the vlogs I can make because I'll have time on my hands after Dragonsteel is done. So I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my daily Vlogmas/Bookmas uploads. And as always, let me know in the comments if you have any requests you want to see during Bookmas, and I'll see you guys in the next video.